The One Piece manga just dropped an absolute bombshell by revealing the true origin of devil fruits that no one expected.
Watch Brago first.
Have broken the fourth wall and written himself into the story. And because it's gonna be really important to discuss this, I want to give you the literal translation of what Dr. Vegapunk tells the Straw Hats in the original Japanese version. Because when he sees Gear 5 and realizes that Luffy's devil fruit takes the form of the god Nika, he says this. You have probably not heard the name Nika before, because it's a name that was erased from history. However, as long as people keep wishing for him, he can never be erased.
Boom. And that's kind of what we said already. We know that part. Turn it up. Okay.
Everything is born into this world after it was wished for. And the same goes for the...
Okay, so that's one thing. Everything... He said everything is born into this world after it was wished for. Okay.
Devil fruits. People go like, if things only were like this, or if only that thing happened. So devil fruits are powers of a wide range of wishes for humanity's future. And
okay, that is a hell of a better explanation than what we got, or translation I should say. So it says, if only they are powers of a wide range of wishes for humanity's future. So based on what people want for the future, these kind of powers spawn, right?
And therefore, these artificial fruits are hated by the mother of nature,
which is the sea. So that's why people can't swim, because Mother Nature legitimately hates devil fruits because they go against all... Okay, alright. It's artificial. Oh, therefore these artificial fruits. So these artificial fruits, well, is it because artificial, that means they were created. But based on this, they were created on desire, what people wanted, right? So I guess that's not really natural, right? It came about. Maybe we'll hear more about it. Let's see.
Which is the sea. That is my personal hypothesis. I'm not even thinking about whether there are gods or not. Isn't that fascinating? So, devil fruit users are actually beings created from someone's imagination that lives in a different dimension.
What the fuck? That lives in a different dimension? Where'd that come from? Hold on. That's what Vegapunk said?
Yes, Vegapunk. Well, that is pretty fascinating. Holy Usopp. This is by far the biggest lore drop that we've ever had about devil fruits in the entire story. Really something that we...
Hold on. It's a good theory by Vegapunk, but it doesn't explain why so many different devil fruits even exist then. Well, like, it does, because that means that I feel like it's like if God is other person in this other dimension is granting wishes to so many people, so many devil fruits are born, you know? And maybe that's, I don't know. Do you think that God is controllable? Like, do you think that somebody could ever get a hold of God's powers? Or, you know what I'm saying? Because if all these devil fruits come from somebody's desire to have it be born, that means that all these devil fruits, I don't know. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Then why don't people manifest devil fruits now? I think it's tech from the ancient kingdom who desire to have new powers, etc. Someone wished to be Mochi. Someone wished to be a castle for Beji.
Been waiting for ever since the beginning of Luffy's adventure. There is so much that we need to talk about here because this answers a ton of questions we had, but at the same time, as One Piece often does, raises even more new questions as well. Okay, devil fruits are actually beings created by someone's imagination living in another dimension. Oda, did you just write yourself into the story? We need to discuss this. However,
That'll be interesting too. I didn't even think about that, but that's pretty interesting. No, the VOD will not get deleted, Danny. Take it easy, bro. Have a good night.
The first thing, before we can even get into the meats and potatoes of this, that we need to address here is the big caveat that Vegapunk gives us here. Because all this information that he just dumped on us is his own personal hypothesis. In other words, Vegapunk himself has deduced this much from all his research, and the research made by the archaeologists on Ohara, but he does acknowledge himself that it's not confirmed to be the whole story. And so, knowing Oda, I believe that there is a lot of truth to what Vegapunk has just said here, but I'm also convinced there will be a few twists and turns to this explanation in the end as well. So take everything here with a bit of a grain of salt. But with that being said, let's go through everything that we've gotten here, because it's a lot. Basically, Vegapunk's hypothesis states that devil fruits are created from people's imagination and wishes for the future. And as long as people keep wishing for these things to happen, they will become reality in the world of One Piece. Now,
yeah, okay.
His example here is actually Luffy's Nika devil fruit. Now, Vegapunk actually didn't seem to know that this particular devil fruit existed in the first place. He does look up the Gomu Gomu no Mi in the ancient devil fruit encyclopedia. Yes, that's a thing too, apparently.
Yeah.
But we'll have to talk about
That's one thing. Wait, there's an encyclopedia for this shit? Okay.
at some point as well. And he does realize that there never was a Gomu Gomu no Mi. However, apparently Vegapunk has either seen an actual image of the Sun God Nika or heard a description of its appearance, because he correctly identifies that Luffy's Gear 5 is Nika based on some ancient text that he references. Once again, I do have to wonder whether all these ancient things that Vegapunk references are all dating back to the Void Century and to Joy Boy's time, or if all of this goes back even further than we all imagined. After all, the Void Century happened only 800 years ago, while the One Piece history itself dates back at least several thousand years. And then in this context, there's of course also the entire Luffy versus Lucci thing, and Lucci's awakened devil fruit having the same steam coat around his body as Luffy and Yamato. In general, this chapter answers a bunch of questions we had about Devil Fruit Awakening and how it works, I think. And especially with all the new information that we've gotten, there is a lot that we can deduce, especially about Zone Devil Fruits. And I really want to discuss all of that in detail. So how about this? I will make a dedicated video about just that will be out within a week, if at least 1,000 people subscribe until tomorrow. Anyways, Vegapunk basically says that even though Nika's name and the true name of Luffy's Devil Fruit were erased from history by the world government, the powers of Sun God Nika will never cease to be as long as people believe in his existence. Now, as we know from Who's Who small history lesson, Nika is a deity that's worshipped by slaves as the warrior of liberation. In other words, Nika would be the literal embodiment of people's wish for freedom, which of course fits in perfectly with the main theme of One Piece and what Luffy in general represents as a character: freedom. Another thing that is really interesting is that it turns out that Blackbeard was actually being quite literal when he said that dreams never die. He actually wasn't—
Oh, that's a bomb right there. And I remember when we first met Blackbeard, I actually thought, like, this is a very, like, people's dreams have no end. That's so crazy. Oh my god. Like, Blackbeard is such a likable character. I don't care. Like, he's a bad guy and shit, but like, what if, like, do you guys think that he actually has a brother? Like, these two, like, that theory? Or like, if he wanted to, like, cause wouldn't it be true that if he wanted to hold 3 devil fruit, it can be born, the power can be born to do so? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
Being all that philosophical at all. He knows that people's dreams literally never die, as they're gonna be reborn as devil.
And my thing is, if Blackbeard did know it, how the fuck did he know that back then? You know what I'm saying? This information is given to us by Vegapunk. How does... Well, I'm bugging because Blackbeard was a part of the Whitebeard's crew, so like the kind of information he had access to was, yeah.
as long as people believe in them. In the end, it turns out that this sentence too was a major piece of foreshadowing that Blackbeard had knowledge about devil fruits that no one else had. Now, this is pure speculation, but it might be the case that this is the key to Blackbeard's ability to steal devil fruits as well. I mean, maybe the darkness fruit is the strongest devil fruit in his eyes because if there is darkness, there can be no other dreams while you sleep. Maybe...
And maybe the devil fruit is as strong as you think it is, right? If it's...
exactly how this devil fruit can cancel out other devil fruit powers and why Blackbeard never sleeps as well. I've previously also talked at length about the fact
that is actually pretty... If there's dark... That's actually some... He's saying that's a good theory, right? I'm thinking the same shit. I'm like, yo, let me play that back. I'm like, hold on.
That this is the key to Blackbeard's ability to steal devil fruits as well. I mean, maybe the darkness fruit is the strongest devil fruit in his eyes because if there is darkness, there can be no other dreams while you sleep. Maybe exactly how this devil fruit can cancel out other devil fruit powers and why Blackbeard never sleeps as well. I've previously also talked at length about the fact that devil fruits might...
And he doesn't sleep. But if dreams... But I don't know. Wouldn't he have to? I don't. Why doesn't he? Why doesn't he sleep?
Well, be related to inherited will. Inherited will in One Piece basically describes handing down one's own wishes and dreams to another person, which means that the countless examples of devil fruits apparently changing people's personality might well be due to the will of previous owners being stored inside them. For example,
Whoa.
Mom becoming a lot more like Mother Caramel, or Sabo becoming a lot more like Ace. And all of this also seems to be connected to the so-called lineage factor that...
Sabo is a lot more like Ace? Really? I don't know about that.
That was discovered also by Dr. Vegapunk that seems to be essential to the functioning of devil fruits. Inherited will, lineage factor. And now all of this of course gives extra special meaning to Roger's final words at his execution. Inherited will, the winding of the ages, and the dreams of people. As long as people continue to pursue the meaning of freedom, these things will never cease to be. Well, if what Vegapunk says is true, then this might be Roger describing the secret of devil fruits in the very first chapter of One Piece.
Wait a second.
Roger's final words at his execution. Inherited will, the winding of the ages, and the dreams of people. As long as people continue to pursue the meaning of freedom, these things will never cease to be. Well, if what Vegapunk...
Damn, that's a bar, bro. That foresight is crazy. Yo. I need to rewind that. Hold on. That's crazy.
Will, lineage factor. And now all of this of course gives extra special meaning to Roger's final words at his execution. Inherited will, the winding of the ages, and the dreams of people. As long as people continue to pursue the meaning of freedom, these things will never cease to be. Well, if what Vegapunk says is true, then this might be Roger describing the secret of devil fruits in the very first chapter of One Piece. People dreaming of a better future and passing those dreams on to others, which then again literally keeps devil fruits in circulation across the ages. And the winding of the ages itself might refer to the wide variety of futures of humanity that people wish for, that Vegapunk talks about as well. And really...
Damn! Yo, that's kind of... Yo, I'm not gonna lie. Like, somebody help some of my people with these ads, man. Yo, sub up, guys, sub up. But damn, bro, that's really a bar, bro. Like, Oda he's really on some... I'm not gonna lie, he's a genius, bro. He's a genius. I wish he wrote my favorite manga anime. I wish he did. I'm not gonna lie. I wish he did.
Everything that's being said in this chapter fits in perfectly with what both Blackbeard and Roger have said. Only that dreams have a much more literal power in the world than we all thought. Now, the reason that I said that no one expected this reveal at the beginning of this video is not because I believe that no
Thank you for subscribing, Zofrio.
one ever had the idea that devil fruits might possibly be based on people's dreams. In fact, you probably thought to yourself, what do you mean unexpected? I thought of that ages ago. In fact, I myself made a video over half a year ago talking about exactly that possibility that devil fruits might be created from human imagination. But the reason that I found this reveal so incredibly unexpected at this point in the story was because so far, Egghead Island had basically one big message for us. And that is, everything in One Piece that looks like magic actually is ancient lost technology. Basically, the idea that I've been getting from Vegapunk so far is that everything that's strange in One Piece can be explained by a technologically super advanced civilization that tapped into an unlimited energy source that then allowed them to basically do anything. I mean, we do...
Yeah, and I really agree with that point. Like, the ideas of these devil fruits and what they are, especially, has to have come from a very futuristic place. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, these devil fruits are too advanced for the kind of lifestyle that I see these people live, if that makes sense. So, like, I agree with that.
You know that Vegapunk was able to create artificial devil fruits using science, and it fits in very nicely with the idea that all of this is just super advanced biotechnology. And now, suddenly, the main science guy himself of the story tells us that actually, if you just wish for something hard enough, it will come true in this world? I mean, I'm not sure about you, but to me that just feels incredibly paradoxical. Which one is it now? Are devil fruits and haki magic? Or is it science? And Vegapunk himself
But here's the thing though, like, I feel like science and religion are paradoxes. I feel like it's okay to do that because that's how real life is.
Actually addresses this question too. Remember, he said that he doesn't really care whether this is the work of gods or a god. Which, in other words, means that he actually doesn't know how wishes and dreams actually become reality. Which, you know, sounds a little bit fishy to me. Don't you think that the man who wants to know anything about the world and ancient powers and wants to advance science would not want to find out how they worked and where they came from in the first place? A little bit fishy. I think either Vegapunk is salty that he couldn't figure it out by himself, or he is actively withholding some important information here. After all, in order to create an artificial functioning devil fruit in a lab, he clearly must have at least some scientific understanding of these fruits. For example, Momo's perfect devil fruit was created by using Kaido's lineage factor, basically the equivalent of DNA in the One Piece world. So not exactly magic, right? Also, Vegapunk contradicts himself a little bit in his speech when it comes to this point as well. He talks about how the sea, which is apparently the mother of nature, how this sea hates these artificially created things. And the two Japanese words that Oda uses here are shizen and fujisen, which basically means nature or natural and unnatural or artificial. So basically, he openly describes these manifested powers as artificial creations. So which one is it, Vegapunk? My best guess right now would be that someone actually had the advanced technology or the supernatural magic power to create this mechanism in the One Piece world at some point in the ancient past. And the key to that is Vegapunk's most interesting statement of all here. 能力者とは誰かが思い描いたいくつも異次元の生きる者たち Which, first of all, is such a strangely phrased sentence. Just for confirmation, I actually asked some of my Japanese friends to help me translate it, and everyone kind of said something different here, but here is the gist. Ability users are people who live in many different dimensions that someone envisions. Ichigen literally means different dimensions without any doubt, so this already is a big deal one way or another. We're talking about different dimensions in the One Piece world. But it seems like Oda is keeping this a little bit...
This just got confusing. That is crazy, bro. Imu says there's a more history to One Piece. It began with the war on the moon, Eventually, half the moon people came to Earth, Birkins, Shandians with small white wings. They fought against Lunarians with black wings in the dark side of the moon. Hence